Hello and welcome to Unprofessional Engineering. My name is James.
And you got Luke.
Luke, we're joined with a special guest for, I guess, our second interview of Autodesk University 2018. With us today, I want to make sure I get the company right, we have Patty Ryan of Gaga
Muller.
So I need to practice my Irish.
Well, there's an Irish way of saying it and then an English way of saying it. We say Mueller.
Gaga Muller.
I apologize.
Of the Irelands. All right, well, thanks for joining us today.
No problem, guys. Nice to be here.
Awesome. So could you tell us a little bit about what you do with your company?
Yeah, I suppose it would all start with Mace. I joined Mace about 2 years ago on the Facebook data center construction. So since then I've actually stood out and set up a tech startup, so that's what Gaga Muller is.
Oh, okay.
So we're looking to develop a product and application for the industry, but I continue to offer the services to Mace through BIM and digital workflows and technology innovation throughout their program with Facebook.
Okay, wonderful. So you're kind of a one-stop shop for all of those things.
Yeah, you could say that. But to be fair, we've got a fairly good team in Mace. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see the presentation, but I say it to a lot of people. We've got 1,500 people on site at max capacity, and not any one person will be able to do what we did. So it's the team that's behind it. We've got a really A team on that job in Ireland.
That's awesome. So you're here because you guys won one of the AEC Excellence Awards,
That's
right? Would you say it was the best award? Like out of all the competition?
Of course I'm going to say it's the best award, guys. Of course it is. It's definitely the best award. It's the largest construction project. We're here to build, aren't we? So yeah, it's definitely...
So tell us a little bit about the project, where it is and who it was for.
Yeah, so the project was in a place called Clonee, which is just outside Dublin in Ireland. Huge project. It was a 298 acre site.
Whoa, acre?
Yeah, 298 acre site where we've got 3 phases currently on. So we've just come to the close of the construction of phase 3 and we're just about to start the design right across the road on another plus 200 acre site for more data centers. So you guys can upload all your live streams and your pictures of cats and all that sorts of stuff.
That is wonderful.
Yeah.
I have a lot of cat pictures,
yeah,
so this is very important.
This is where it's going.
To me.
It's going to Ireland. It's going to Clonee outside Dublin.
His pictures.
Well, that's good. I'm glad I can send them over to Ireland so that we can upload them. That's beautiful. So I saw, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is 100% wind energy supported. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, there's a lot of, I suppose, there's a lot of heat these days on sustainability, isn't there? And trying to be more sustainable with ourselves. I was only in San Fran, guys, there this week, and the smoke and the smog there was crazy, wasn't it? So that hasn't reached our side of the pond yet. I know that there was a fire over there as well, but it was quite bad.
We'll blame the wildfire.
We'll blame the wildfire that time, yeah.
So how do they do this? Do they just have a bunch of old windmills up there somewhere, like swinging around?
To be honest, I'm not quite sure. To be honest, the honest answer, I'm concentrating mainly on the design and construction of it. That's just a stat that came from this. But, from my side, I've no idea really.
Any reason why they chose wind over solar by chance? Is it? My guess is when I think of Ireland, it's probably cloudy and rainy most of the time.
Yeah, it is. There's not a lot of sun there, guys. But to be fair, it's actually a good question because there's a lot of space on that roof for solar panels, and we do have solar panels, all jokes aside, in Ireland. So yeah, no, it's probably something that is a design feature maybe in the future for them.
So I have an Ireland question. I've been told by many people that Guinness beer tastes different in Ireland than anywhere else.
Yeah,
so this is true, coming from someone from Ireland.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. You have to try it in Dublin.
Why would it be different?
It's just because it doesn't travel as well, I would imagine.
Oh, okay.
Because you've got to import it or export it. But yeah, in Dublin you've got straight from the taps, really, isn't it?
Okay.
If you go to the Guinness Brewery tour, they'll give you the whole breakdown on all of this stuff. So make your way over there.
I'll have to do that sometime.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I can maybe get you in there for a discounted price.
Oh man, we got the hookup
We'll
now.
see what we can do.
You can bring your cats.
That's wonderful.
So we saw this number, and I think you had mentioned it maybe. There were 1,500 people contributing at one time. Is that right?
Yeah, that was probably at max capacity. So we've got a lot of companies on the job. There's a lot of coordination involved in it. And yeah, I mean, total, like we're doing the program, so we've got a couple of other jobs. We've got a job in Denmark as well.
Okay.
So in total, in terms of upskilling these guys and almost bringing them to the level that we need them to operate on to do what we do, I think we've trained over 3,000 staff today in-house.
Is training one of the biggest issues you have with this kind of project?
Do you know what? Yeah, it kind of is. There's a lot of hard work involved in it. I see a lot of. We spend a lot of time in the BIM model and getting the coordinate and getting in the right place. So we have to be mindful that what happens out on site is captured, and we have to make sure that the guys on site are up to speed with what we're doing.
I saw you were doing a lot of cloud-based software as well. Were you having trouble getting everyone on board with that? I know there's a lot of issues with some companies and the cloud.
Do you know what? Not as much. I suppose our client is Facebook at the end of the day. So
this is true. That's a good point.
Yeah, they to be honest, I must say that one thing is Facebook have been very good, because as a client, they've almost let us do what we wanted to do, and they've kind of guided us along the way. You don't get that with a lot of clients, so we've been allowed to maybe spend a little bit more money than most projects can, but we've made it back in leaps and bounds in terms of efficiency and productivity.
Right. Yeah. Speaking of efficiency, I was reading something else about this, or maybe I heard it on stage today, but with your Revit models, the management of them, I think it was said, dropped from like 440 minutes per week to 10.
Yeah,
that seems ridiculous.
You know what? And it's not just Revit either. I mean, it's a realm of things. I mean, there's we started using BIM 360 Design. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. Of course you are. Sorry. And we've also started. We've always used BIM 360 Glue, and I suppose that number and that term came from how we used to previously federate models and coordinate. And when we first started, it would take, you'd be coordinating in a model that was already probably 3 or 4 days old, and it wasn't really live and interactive, whereas in the platform within Glue and within BIM 360 Design, you've got literally immediate access to the latest design. You have to be kind of careful with that as well, because when there's changes happening during the coordination phase and before you get your approval drawings out on site, you got to make sure that the changes in the model aren't happening after your drawings are approved, for example. So there's
So speaking of access to the model, so VR ended up being a pretty big part of this project, is that right?
It could have been bigger, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, we do use VR. We currently use it for one step of the process. So what we found a lot was we would waste a lot of time cutting sheets from Revit, putting them through the approval process, only to come back with negative comments and status B and C's. So we decided we'd try and utilise VR, so before we even cut any sheets and issue them through the approval process, we would bring the client into the room and go, look, this is what this room is going to look like. And they loved it because they got to really see firsthand in virtual reality environment things like access and maintenance, things they probably wouldn't necessarily see on a drawing.
Gotcha.
So you said you could have used it more. Do you think in the future you will use it more? Or do you think maybe because it was Facebook that's a little bit different? Like other clients maybe wouldn't be as into it or as necessary?
Do you know what, I'll be very honest, I used to think VR was a bit of a gimmick. So
I think a lot of people might think that sometimes.
But if you use it in areas where you can actually, I always go back to it. It always goes back to the people and the logic. Software and these new digital tools that we're using, they're exactly that. They're just tools, and you can't change the logic. So if you use VR for something that doesn't change the logic or the process, then it's definitely worth doing. So we use it for drawing approvals essentially, but you could use it for a lot of other stuff like planning permission and things like that prior to, and maybe more in the design phase.
I saw it on stage today and it was just really cool, saying like, oh yeah, here's what the space is like it's nothing right now, but then this is what it's going to look like. That would be a game changer.
So considering the size of this job, there was also a lot of drone work that was done and scanning, is that right?
Yeah.
Could you talk about that for a second?
Another thing that I thought was a gimmick, but apparently people use them.
I always thought drones are just something that YouTubers do whenever they're jumping off of waterfalls, right? Isn't that what drones are for?
No, I'm telling you, like we've just, so previously we had drones, it was a third-party company that would come in and fly the drone every couple of weeks, and it was like a progress image. But we saw, why don't we do this every day? So we actually trained 5 of our staff in-house, including myself. We've got drone licenses.
That had to be kind of fun.
It was good, yeah. It was pretty
How many
cool.
did you crash?
None yet.
Don't lie.
These things are worth a lot of money. So.
Oh, I'm aware. That's why I'm wondering. Did anyone crash them?
Not yet.
Wow.
Yeah, not
See,
yet.
I have a little toy one, and I mean, I like started it up, tried to move forward, bam,
into the wall,
broke the wing off of it, and now it's done.
Now these things are quite clever. I mean, you want to be a really bad pilot to crash one of these things. They have obstacle avoidance and all sorts of stuff.
That felt like a challenge, and I think I could take it. All right, so I guess we only have one more question here, and this
Cool.
is kind of what we're ending with everyone on. And what are you looking forward to at Autodesk University now that your big awards and interviews
It's
are now
out of the
over?
way.
All the pressure's off now. What are you going to do
Now
at
that
AU?
you've talked to us.
And I'm not going to say the drink and the nightlife. I'm that's stereotypical.
You're
out of me,
allowed to
so,
say that.
yeah.
You're allowed. That's okay.
To be honest, I really want to go and see what we can do with Dynamo. I don't think we've.
Okay.
I don't think I know enough about it, and I think that's probably the next step for us. Also, we do a lot of data collection on our job. So we built our own websites. We pull data from field, from our CDEs and areas like that. I'd like to see how we can make that, I suppose, nicer and better and smoother. A lot of it's very heavy lifting for us at the minute, specialised people on the job, where we built our own website, but it's all quite, I would call it amateur.
Yeah,
Like the guys
yeah.
on site think it's great because they have
Yeah.
access to immediate data.
That's
but
what matters.
Yeah, I think definitely what else I can do with data and also Dynamo.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well, thanks a lot for joining us today.
No problem,
I
guys.
think,
Thanks for having me.
It was really interesting.
Yeah, and congratulations on the award.
No problem.
Congratulations
Thanks,
on the
guys.
big award.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks
Bye
a
now.
lot.